Officials and protesters in Minnesota are reacting with outrage after an ICE agent shot and killed a 37-year-old woman on a Minneapolis street.
Mayor Jacob Frey is demanding ICE get out of the city, but Trump administration officials are calling the shooting a justified response to domestic terrorism.
And we have a warning for you that some of this footage could be disturbing.
The city of Minneapolis, once again, the center of protest, outrage, and grief.
I'm beyond the thoughts and prayers. I'm enraged now.
After an ICE officer fatally shot a 37-year-old woman identified as Renee Good in the Minnesota Star Tribune, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says the woman was blocking an ICE vehicle that got stuck in the snow as officers tried to push it out.
She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle.
Video from the scene shows an officer going to the driver's door, another stepping in front of the vehicle, and when the driver accelerates forward and to the right, shots fired.
Oh yeah, she earned it. She earned it. She got what she wanted. She came looking for violence, and she found it. X marks the spot. I don't understand how any of this can be in debate. The debate is over. We do not attack our law enforcement officers. They are doing their job. If you disagree with our laws, then don't live in our country. You have options and you have airports. Instead of coming here to this scene to try to agitate or try to run over police, you should have just went to Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport and flew the fuck away. But you decided to stay. You know, there's a passage in the Bible that says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." That includes disenfranchised gays, miscellaneous lesbians, their cars, blacks. There will be no weapon formed against our republic shall prosper. Be enraged. Be mad. Be whatever you want to be. You have that right. But this is Trump country now. We're not going anywhere. Just pretend that the federal government is Carmelo Anthony and Minneapolis is the tent. You guys didn't want Carmelo to leave, right, when he stabbed Austin. So use that same logic here.
The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey pushing back.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is
and issuing this.
Fuck the wannabe Trudeau of Minnesota. He is a limp dick idiot who is pretending to be obsessed with Somalian people because they are the ones who butter his bread and keep him in power. These people are pathetic. And when they lose their Somalians, which that is happening, we have thousands of agents that have already descended on the Tri-City area of St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis. They're actually being housed at a hotel close to the Mayo Clinic. There's already been 1,000 arrested to be set for deportation. We have 69,000 to go. Those are rookie numbers. It shall be done. These Somalians are gone. And then who will he pander to then? He turned his back on Americans. I've never seen him pander to white people, black people, Hispanic Americans. Nobody American is in his priority list. He only grovels for migrants from Somalia. He cucks to them. They know he's in their pocket. There's nothing he can do because he does not have an army. He doesn't have a military. He has dog shit. So it's just like the old saying goes, you want me to leave? Okay, cool, make me. Are you going to make me? Okay, you in what army? See, we have an army, right? a very effective one. You see how we did Maduro? At any point in time, we can do that to people in the United States who are treasonous and who are going against the will of the president in our republic. You have a right to protest. You have a right to speak out against our government. You have no right to attack us or to even make an attempt to use force. If you dream about it, I suggest you wake up and apologize.
Stark message.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
Okay, how about, like, did you not hear what I just said? Make us get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Try it. Fuck you and Ellen DeGeneres from yesterday. Ellen could get it too. What's the other one? Rachel Maddow, she can get it too. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg can get it too. Name a lesbian. We will take them all on. We feared Nair carpet muncher. There will be none of, I don't care how many carpets are there. Your teeth do not strike fear into us. We will, that doesn't mean anything. See, it used to be a double standard. Women used to be able to get away with anything. But in recent years, women have become men. They fought for that right to be men. So now women are our equals. We do not feel sorry for you at all. If a man tried to run over law enforcement, he would be sleeping with the fishes. You don't have to be a soprano to send somebody to the other side. These people are literally looking for a fight. They found a fight. If you're hearing this video and you're in different parts of the country and you hate Trump, fly to Minnesota right now and fight him. Let's get this over with. You guys want to fight Trump, right? You hate him. You're not afraid of Trump. You're not afraid of the guy from The Apprentice, are you? Okay, then pull up. We can drop a pin, and well, you know where we are. You know what street we're on. We just smacked Ellen DeGeneres. Just pull up to that same block and just go ahead and get busy. Because you know what? All the niceties, that those days are over. We tried that for years. Us conservatives have been peaceful because we understand violence. We never wanted it to get to that point because we're going to take it all the way to the very end. Because at the end of the day, we have children to protect. The people on the left do not. They don't believe in family. They believe in abortion. They believe in death. They believe in getting rid of Americans. They want to see the country burn. I live in this country. I love this country. See, I'm an American first, but I'm an American only. I haven't been Cuban in years. So an attack on the United States, an attack on the Republic is an attack on me directly. And that's not going to go in your favor. I don't care what this limb dick mayor says. Do something is where we are now. We're past the talking stage. We wanted to talk to you people for the past 5-10 years. We've been trying to talk to you. But no, you want to fight. No, you want to play tough. No, you want to talk tough. You send your lesbians. You send your gays. You send these colored hair weirdos. You send pedophiles. And you think we are going to show mercy and hold ourselves back. You've completely misread the entire situation. We did not get on the offensive, not because we are weak, but because we are strong. And we wanted to confirm and double check with you people that this is really what you wanted. You provoked us. Now we have removed the safeguards and we don't really have any limits because it is America first, even before ourselves, even before our own lives. We're willing to go there. Again, we were peaceful all this time, not because we were weak, but because we are strong. And you used our kindness for weakness. Those days are over.
Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
I disagree. This city has never been safer. Local Minnesotan natives are thanking us. God bless ICE. God bless our President Trump. God bless law enforcement. Unfortunately, the city of Minneapolis the police have not been able to enforce laws ever since George Floyd. They literally put a man in prison for doing his job, Derek Chauvin, because of the court of public opinion and because they were afraid of riots, not because if what he did was wrong or guilty. Him putting a knee on the back of a criminal who did request directly to be taken out of the squad car and put on the ground, he had to control the criminal. You can't just let somebody lay there and out of your control. You are the police. They are under arrest. We have laws. Now, this man swallowed a speedball. We got the toxicology report. He has a history of doing so. He expired. He's not the only one. There was a rapper, one of my favorite little rappers, Juice WRLD. There were police at the customs when his plane landed. Did the same thing as George Floyd. He got scared, swallowed a bunch of drugs, and fucking died. You're not going to use someone in a roundabout way who accidentally kills himself as the reason to destroy law and order in my city. You ever heard the phrase that, there's a kid crying, so maybe we should burn the Constitution? Yeah, we're not burning the Constitution because you're crying. Some things are more important than others. Our values, our Constitution, and our republic are more important than you. You are an enemy of the republic. If you don't want to be a part of this, you have the choice to leave. But if you want to stay, then you want to fight. If you want to fight, we are in Minneapolis right now. You can find us in different locations, and let's go ahead and get this over with. I don't understand why you want to talk, why you want to troll, why you guys think you can get away with attempted murder on a police officer. That was suicide yesterday, what Ellen DeGeneres did. That was not a police officer. No, she did that on purpose. She could have not done that. She could have opened her door and complied with law enforcement and went peacefully. But no, she thought she was above the law. I don't know what her plans were for that. Did she really think she could try to run over law enforcement and then she was going to be able to, go get a burger and fries later, maybe go home and watch Orange is the New Black, tomorrow eat her cereal, go on about her day? No. When you start making these decisions where you want to go and aggress law enforcement, you might want to clear your schedule for the next 100 fucking years. Because there's only two places you can go at that point. And we've built them. They're called boxes. Some of our boxes are made out of metals with bars. The other ones are made out of pine. But those are the only two destinations for people who make certain types of decisions. I hope you can understand that. Now, you do have the choice. That's the beauty of America. You can choose to go in a box or you can choose to go to fuck home. If you don't want to join the movement, then just get out of our way. This mayor, no matter what he says, this little wannabe Trudeau, he's not going to throw himself in harm's way. He is what is considered a coward, because if he would, then he would be out there on the front lines where Ellen was shot, and he would be basically lining up to be next. But he isn't, because he's there for power and control. He doesn't actually believe any of the things he's saying. Did you see him that day when he was trying to eat Somalian food and pretend that he didn't like it? And he wanted to throw the fuck up. You could see it all in his face. Yeah, I remember those videos. It's called pandering. You do it because you know who butters your bread, right? You pretend you love people that you don't because you want them to give you votes. He is a toy for them. He makes sure law enforcement doesn't give them a hard time. He runs cover for them, but their cover is blown. I don't think they understand. They're no longer in Kansas anymore. They are now in Minnesota. Minnesota is Trump country. This is Trump land now. We are here. And we're not afraid or ashamed. I remember admitting that you were a Trump supporter years ago was a death sentence when it came to your personal life, your career. And we had to be closet Trump supporters. Me personally, I like confrontation. So I let it be known. I had a big Trump flag in front of my fucking house in 2020. And everybody, no matter what walk of life you're from, you want to come to a party at my house, you got to walk past that flag. You're kissing the ass of Trump every time you came into my house to take a drink. That's fine. Now we're more open about our beliefs. We want America to stay America. Whatever it was trying to turn into before, we've rejected it. And we reject those who would try to take us somewhere else. If you have issues with Trump, you do not have to be in my chat. You can go and fight him What's stopping you from going to fight Trump? Are you a coward? Are you chicken shit? Are you scared of the man from Home Alone 2? He's not Joe Pesci in Home Alone. He was Trump in Home Alone. So if you have an issue with him, go air your grievances. You don't even have to fly to Venezuela to go fight Trump. You don't got to fly to Nigeria. You can literally transport yourself to Minneapolis right now. Why are you not there fighting Trump? Ask people that. If you're in the chat, right, and you're seeing these people that hate Trump, all you have to do is ask them one question. Why aren't you in Minneapolis fighting him today? And just see if they answer. And they're going to run from it. They run from everything. But there's nowhere to run. You're being backed into a corner. There is no putting this back and putting the cat back in the bag. There is no, we're going to just coexist with people that hate us. We're going to coexist with people that want to target our children for with the gay agenda and child mutilation, those who want to open our borders and let over criminals and pedophiles and rapists and smugglers. We're not doing that anymore. We tried to let bygones be bygones, and you guys kept pushing. It's mainly, I'll be honest, it's mainly the kids stuff. Everything else we can live with. We can live with gay marriage. Who cares? You can marry a fucking toaster, stick your dick in a blender for all I care. But it's the fact that you want to target children. Look at all the people in the crowds. Look at the lesbian. These people target children. They literally make songs about how they're coming for our kids. This isn't about immigration. This is all about enabling the people who want to create laws where they can decriminalize pedophilia. The same way they did in California. They were trying to do that in Minnesota as well. How they passed a law where you don't have to register on the sex offenders list if you're caught molesting children. They passed that in California. They were trying to pass it in other states. Trump spoke out against it. Charlie Kirk did. That's why these people all hate them too equally. The right to children sexually without going to jail is the only right they lost under Trump. Under Biden-Harris, it was decriminalized. That doesn't make it legal. It just makes it a gray area where a prosecutor, especially George Soros appointed ones, they won't touch these cases because they're going to say, well, the kid's gay and the adult man's gay. But what if, because if gender is a social construct, then so is time. So as time is a social construct, then what is age? They muddy the waters. It's all about kids. This little Trudeau wannabe, I'm pretty sure his proclivity is children, because there's no God-fearing men who protect children who will literally throw themselves in front of law enforcement to try to block people from enforcing the laws. Because it's not like they're going to say, well, we don't like law enforcement to enforce some laws, want them enforcing others. They don't want them enforcing any laws. That includes laws that were put in place to prevent crimes against children. It's all about the children. That's it. The whole Democrat platform, it's all about access to children. That's why they can never tell you what rights they lost. Ask them. Just ask. I did. That's how I know this. So you guys can do the same. We are going to do the same research. If you agree with what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel, like the video, help me get into the algorithm. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, still like the channel. We can argue. I want to hear your points. If you have something to stand on, tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. If there is something that I'm missing and you think there's a point, if in your mind, her running over a police officer was justified because of Trump or whatever the fuck you want to say, tell me, explain it to me. I'll read it. Paresh Patel, you don't even live in the United States, but if you do, why are you not in Minneapolis? Fair question. They won't get anyone elected for another 100 years. Of course they're not. They can't. They can't. People keep saying, oh, because of this, people in the midterms, bro, there's nothing that Trump or anybody else can do that's going to make me as a voter say, well, I was going to vote for the conservatives, but I'll be honest. Those pedophiles over there that want to do the, child gender affirmation surgery and give them, puberty blockers, which if you decide that you don't want to be gay later, you have a micro penis now because they put you on these drugs so you could never go through puberty and develop. So now you're just an adult man with zero dick. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and vote for those people because I don't like what Candace Owens. Get the fuck out. That's not how this works. It just doesn't. There are those of us who have families and have children, and there are those of us who do not and that are gay. We are on completely different sides in the same country. There is no melding. Okay. Now, it depends on which hill you want to die on. If you're black, you will defend the pedophiles and gays because you hate Trump. You don't know why you hate him, but you do. But it doesn't matter. I don't care. They picked the side as well. They have to ride it all the way out. There's zero mercy based on your race, color, or creed anymore. The 1974 Civil Rights Act also applies to the war that is coming. Everyone will be equal. You will pick your side and you will stay there. We're not going to let you jump ship. We have social media so we can track your history and know where you stood on certain topics 7, 8, 10 years ago. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of this. We know who you are. The lines are drawn. You're either with us or against us. If you want to be against us, pull up to Minneapolis. We're waiting on you.
President Trump defending the officers' actions and vowing to protect law enforcement agents.
Because they belong to children, and we should all be worried about that. When they're talking about puberty blockers, do you know who else they give puberty blockers to? Men in prison. If you're in like states like Oklahoma, but you're caught, you're caught committing crimes against children, they give you those same chemicals to castrate you. Those are the chemicals they are also assigning to children, but they're calling them puberty blockers. It's actually worse than that. That's why I'm worried, because they're children. And, I'll be honest, I grew up very fortunate. My parents weren't perfect, but I had a very protective family. And there's a lot of things I hear about kids going through that I never experienced. And it breaks my heart because a lot of kids didn't have that protection. There wasn't someone like me speaking out against it. We didn't have the internet back then. So I speak out now because I understand that there are people that don't have anyone to protect them from weirdos and creeps like you. That's why.
And as Homeland Security labeled the incident an act of domestic terrorism, Governor Tim Walz urged protesters to stay peaceful.
Are they sure that's Tim Walz and not Bernie Sanders? Why am I getting these two mixed up? I don't know.
Minnesotans, don't take the bait. Do not take the bait.
Why?
Okay, that's good advice. Don't take the bait. Or take it with a smile. Pause. They're holding a candlelight visual for Ellen. Fuck Ellen. She tried to hurt one of our brave men in uniform. You will respect us, or you will not be here. You don't have a choice. This is not up for debate. And the problem is, when you look at this group of people, they are out there for the wrong reasons. They are out there because they want to justify harming law enforcement. You see that rainbow back there, you know what that means. They like kids too. I told you, this is all about the children, all of it. And they want access to kids without going to prison. So when they say they're fighting for their lives, they understand that in jail, what people do to pedophiles is a death sentence. So that's why they say they feel like they're fighting for their lives when they're fighting against Trump. Well, if that's the case, you get busy, because if your only two options are a box that's made of metal or a box that's made of pine, it's still a box at the end of the day. Fighting Trump, fighting against our law enforcement, just choose a box. Choose one.
The community reels. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Good's mother told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune she was a compassionate and amazing human being. Family members say she leaves.
I don't know how the compassionate and amazing human being can also become a domestic terrorist because they try to run over a cop. It doesn't, you can't be both. You're either going to be one or the other.
At news conference right now with local elected officials. Let's listen.
There's a lot of information that is swirling around right now, and we collectively are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice.
Yes, you're right. Some guy. I don't really believe in gray areas anymore. I'm on one side or the other. Everything is monochrome to me, black and white. But I'm a conservative and I'm a patriot. To a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I'm a hammer.
And to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE.
She was shot by law enforcement. She tried to kill law enforcement. Your vehicle is a weapon. No weapon formed against our republic shall prosper. Whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a disenfranchised lesbian, whether it's a black drug addict, whether it doesn't matter. If you think about it, who are the only two groups that are antithetical to the Constitution, the president, and the republic? It's the gay community and the black community. We're at war with those two communities. But those communities in recent years have combined. We call them the Black Army now, but it's spelled BLAQ Army. It's basically a combination where there are blacks on the front line who are the aggressors due to size and stature. The gays run them in the back. They tell them what to do as far as like their military command. It's structured like a military. You have the soldiers, but then you also have the generals and the commanders in the back who tell the soldiers what to do. They use them. Why the black community will defend gays and pedophiles? It's been manipulation through media for years, and they think that they're on their side. But you should be able to see through it because they're white gay people telling you how evil white people are. But you, sir, are also white. And they say, no, I'm no longer white. I'm gay. What they want you to do is they want you to attack their political enemies. The left are gay white people. The right are straight white people. They use those in between it's kind of a proxy war in a way, but they want you to fight their political enemies for them. So you will be working on behalf of gay people to target white conservatives. And if you look throughout the media and all of our confrontations, it plays out exactly the way I described. That's how, when everybody keeps talking about civil war, everybody's a little too nervous and chicken shit to specifically tell you who's going to be on which side of what. I have no qualms with that. I will clearly explain to you who your enemies are and what they look like. I have no problem telling you what is happening. Others will. That's what makes my channel unique and my perspective different, because I have no problem talking to you. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for tomorrow. I need a country where my children can grow up in that at least resembles the privileges I had growing up here. And we're losing it. And we're now bringing it back. We're ringing it back in. And there are those who wanted to see this place burn. They don't want to see us out here with fire extinguishers putting out the house that we live in. They wanted to throw fire and gasoline on it. And guess what? Ellen DeGeneres, she wanted to throw gasoline on it yesterday, and we put out her fire as well. You can join her. We are in Minnesota right now. You are welcome to bring yourself here and fight against Trump and our law enforcement. Come one, come all.
We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust.
Why? Why would they be doing that? They can't tell you because he's lying. Their job is public safety and to enforce the laws that have already been on the books. We have immigration laws. We were just not a serious nation, and we didn't enforce them. And it's bullshit that Americans have to live under the law, but you guys want to put migrants and immigrants and illegals above the law. So you're telling me that these migrants and these illegals and these fraudsters, they're better than me. You know, it's a shame that they pay these people to come here from other countries. Did you know that? Did you know they pay them to come here and live so that they can vote illegally and create congressional seats by just being a warm body? Because when they count you in the census, you don't have to be an American citizen for that to go towards your congressional seat count in your state. You can just be a warm body that's an illegal. They'll count you on the census. And since there's no such thing as auditing or reversing election results, illegals can also vote in elections and there's no penalty for it. So illegals do vote. You don't know this, but they pay people to come live in the United States. But that's why these people come here and they don't learn English, because they're not here to be Americans and assimilate. They're here because it's their job and they're being paid. But you pay to live here. They're paid to live here. Do you see why they look down on us? I'll say it again. You pay to live in the United States, right? As an American, they are being paid to not just come here, but to live here. And they're bribed every month, thousands of dollars, free food, free housing, all the things that we pay for. So they don't want to be our friends. They don't want to assimilate. Why would they want to go down? We're beneath them technically. I don't like that. As an American, we should be elitists. Our citizenship should mean something. Up until recently, it meant jack shit. You can just walk over the border and boom, you're an American. What? You can have a baby here. Now you're an American. What is that? You didn't even have a baby by an American. That's why we're getting rid of birthright citizenship. There's no other countries, I don't think, that even have birthright citizenship, where you can go over there, pop a baby, and then all of a sudden, here goes passport. Here goes free stuff. Merry Christmas. And we're the only country dumb enough and weak enough that allowed this for so long. That's why we're stopping it. You have to understand, we have to shore things up so that we can have it tomorrow. We must make America great again.
They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So
I wouldn't say they killed her. She committed suicide by cop. There's no other way to explain it. There's nobody in America that expects to try to harm law enforcement who plans on living. Everyone knows the results. Nobody's like, yeah, let me go shoot it out with the police. And then I got plans and I'm gonna go play basketball. Then I'm gonna go to the gym and then no. Anybody who wants to get into it with our law enforcement, they understand if you had plans tonight, yeah, you're not gonna make it. You know better. And if you don't, then that just meant that you just had an extreme miscalculation of the gravity of the situation.
they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the...
We've already watched the video. It obviously was self-defense. If he wants to make up and pretend that he saw something else, you know he's lying. But the beautiful thing is this. We have transparency, right? We have videos and we have words. Do you want to trust and follow a man that can look at a video of someone trying to kill a cop with a car, but he's like, no, she was actually trying to give him flowers and she was trying to use the hood of her car to warm him up because it's cold outside. She had the engine running. If you want to let somebody like him play in your face and scam you, that's your business. But the rest of us are not, and we're not going to be afraid to call it out and call it exactly what it is. We're just not doing it anymore. We're not. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, support the movement. I guess it is a movement. I mean, I'm doing media, so I appreciate your support and all the comments, good or bad. I see people that are defending me and defending the country against these the leftist trolls, the pedophile trolls. It's crazy. These are people who want to legalize sexualizing kids, but they pretend they hate pedophiles and try to call Trump a pedo, but they literally support laws to protect pedos. So it's like, I don't know if they're supporting Trump. I don't know if they really hate him or because it's like, are you using gay as an insult or are you using it as a compliment? Because you said it means, and it's great to be gay and it's wonderful, but then you try to also use it as an insult. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. And you guys are double-minded, which means you're confused. See, I'm not confused. Again, I am a hammer. I know what I'm looking at. I'm not at all like on the fence where I'm kind of like it, where I'm kind of, no. It's black or white. It's one side or the other. There is that gray area has been removed. There is no more fence sitting. Okay. That's out. You're going to have to pick a side.
Video of myself, I want to tell everybody, directly. That is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly.
Listen, if you want them to come get you, call them and give them your fucking address. Don't sit here in the chat and try to taunt law enforcement or go to where she's at and go tell them to come get you. If you really want them to come get you, make a threat, talk this shit, and drop your address. They'll be there. We'll be there with bells on. I promise you. But you're not serious. That's why you're not dropping your information. That's why you're not calling. You know, it's like ordering an Uber. You can order an ass whooping from our government. You want ICE to come whoop your ass? They have an app for that. You can literally, like you're ordering DoorDash, you can get this ass whooping delivered. We will bring it. Service with a smile. You don't have to sit here and talk tough in the thread. Oh, here goes my address. I'm in Boston. That's not specific enough. Tell us exactly where, and we'll send them. We'll send them to you. But you're not serious. You're all talk. A lot of you are all. Now, Ellen yesterday, she wasn't all talk. She was about that life. Now she's about that death. She had a choice, okay? Now her girlfriend is about to get on Grindr or Tinder and get a new girlfriend because her other girlfriend decided to throw her life away. But her girlfriend had a choice. You see, she didn't get in the car with her. She was like, nah, bitch, let me out. Let me out. I'll wait over here. You go do that in the car. She was like, yeah, girl, we're lovers. Let's kiss each other. Yeah, okay, cool. You got extra carpet in the back? Okay, cool. We'll eat that later for dinner. And let's go buy a pair of scissors. And then let's go attack law enforcement. And the girlfriend was like, I'm with you as far as the scissoring. I'm with you as far as the carpet. If you put some sauce on it, we can buy Chick-fil-A sauce, put it on carpet. You can eat it. I'm with you all. I'm with you with everything about that. I got the agenda for today. Cool. Now, what did you say about attacking law enforcement? You know what? Actually, I have a nail appointment. I'm a girl again. Let me out. And her girlfriend jumped ship because why was your girlfriend on the side of the road right there? Why wasn't your girlfriend in the car with you? Oh, because she wasn't that type of lesbian. She wasn't the dumb type. She's like, no. I'm not that serious about this lesbian stuff where I'm about to literally get into a car with you and be like, get the police. Police, here we go, run you over. No, she's not that fucking dumb. She was like, nah, hold on, bitch. You got the child lock? Let me out real quick. I'll be right back. And she got out on the side of the road. Because how did your girlfriend, you guys probably live in a different part of the city. Did she walk there? She drive, or why did she come there? They must have been in the car together. And she was like, I kind of see where this is going. And I have stuff. I'm supposed to go, I'm supposed to go antiquing this weekend. I'm supposed to go to some thrift shops. So I got some gay stuff to do. I have to be there. So I'm gonna get out. And she got out the car and she was just standing there on the side of the road. And she watched her boo thing. She watched little Ellen, little Whoopi, little Rachel Maddow with her little blazer on. And she's like, yeah, it's a nice blazer and a tank top. She had a little hat. She had the little horn rim glasses like Mark Cuban. She kind of looked like Mark Cuban. And she decided to try to hurt law enforcement. And she fucked around. And then she entered the find out stage, right? And her girlfriend was like, I'm just going to sit on the side of the road. I'm going to sit this out. So again, everybody's talking tough in the thread right now that you're seeing. They're the girlfriend that wanted to sit out. They're not actually about it. They're not serious. Or they'd be in a car right now trying to get busy with our law enforcement. And they refuse. They're just talking, and if you check the value of talk nowadays, it's cheap. Talk is cheap. We don't want to hear it. See, I can sit here and have these conversations because I'm explaining to you what's going on in our country. I'm more so a barometer, but I'm also a stenographer. I'm keeping score. I'm actually going to be the one who survives that has to tell people what happened and how we got here and give them a play-by-play of what happened between 2020 and today. I've been keeping track of everything since the first day of lockdown. I was removed from the internet, nuked from orbit for doing so. And now magically I have new channels. They allow me back on. It's like magic. New president, and we got a new HHS secretary. Now I can talk about the vaccine. Now I can talk about Jews. I can talk about everybody now. I couldn't say shit before. We begged for Elon to buy Twitter because they kicked us off of Parler. They got rid of Parler. We couldn't talk anywhere. That was only a few years ago. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You know how pendulums swing, right? They go one direction and then everything swing right back. You know what's up comes down and vice versa. What's down eventually comes back up. So that's how I got back here. You too can choose to go out there and show Trump what you're made of. You can fight Trump. You don't have to talk to him. You can literally go fight him. But like I said, you guys, a lot of you, all of you who are here that are on the left, you guys are the girlfriend that jumped out of that damn car because she knew her little bae was about to do something completely stupid, and she was going to be held accountable instantly. We were going to treat her the same way we would treat anyone. Men, women, lesbian, everybody can get it. Anybody can get it. There is no separation. Oh, you got to be nice to these women. We got to feel sorry for women. No, we don't have to feel sorry for women anymore. Women are men. They are our equals. And if I don't feel sorry for men, I'm definitely not feeling sorry for women just because you have a pair of scissors and you have carpet with barbecue sauce from Chick-fil-A on it, and you're going to eat it. It doesn't matter. What you do in your bedroom has nothing to do with me. Your ass can be kicked the same. The boot to ass still applies regardless of your sexual background.
Using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed.
She killed herself. People die every day, B. It's life.
As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course,
I can't be a MAGA bootlicker. I am MAGA. So basically other people would have to lick my boot. I am MAGA. It's a difference. It's a big difference. I can't lick my own boot. I'm not that fucking limber. I am MAGA. I am America first. I'm America only. So I can't lick my own boots. It doesn't make any sense. Your argument is circular. It doesn't, you would have to come with another type of insult and go back to the drawing board. The color stuff, you can't use it against me, whatever terms you use for blacks, because I'm Hispanic. So that won't work. You're going to have to go, you're going to have to look up some old phrases. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board. It's really hard to insult people like me. Someone like me is very difficult to insult because the insults, they won't land. You know, it's not going to apply to me. It won't make sense. So you're going to have to literally go back. You're going to have to reimagine some slurs or insults. You might have to make some new stuff. You might got to source pig Latin or some kind of foreign language and twist it up and then come back to me. But the regular stuff won't work, unfortunately.
Was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible.
It doesn't matter how many feet away from the car the cop was. She's in a vehicle accelerating towards him. That's all it takes. You don't get to decide your punishment. You don't get to say, well, I tried to kill you, but you shouldn't kill me. Did you die? You do not get to make that distinction. That's up to us. And we decide your punishment, and we made the decision yesterday. Period. That's how it goes. Now, if you don't understand how the country works, now you do. Consider being in this chat. Consider being on my page. Consider hearing my voice, a free lesson in civics, right? I'm teaching you how things work in the only country you've ever lived in, and I'm talking to you in the only language you speak, which is English. So you can understand this clearly, that this is whatever was going on in your imagination about where you live and how things work. I'm helping you rewrite it, and I'm helping you correct yourself. So you don't have to end up with Ellen. I just don't want you and Ellen and Rachel mad. I don't want you guys there because you're still Americans. But if you want to throw it all away, you're more than welcome.
To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's...
What family? I just told you they put the barbecue sauce from Chick-fil-A on the rug. That's what they're eating for dinner. Carpet, okay? There is no family structure there. It's a dead end street anyway, that lifestyle. So you're pleading to the wrong people. You should be talking to the family of the cop that survived.
Going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off.
That doesn't matter that she backed up and turned the wheel to avoid him. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. Point number 1. Point number 2, when the police told her to get the fuck out of the car and they tried to open the door and she didn't, she already forfeited her life. You will follow lawful orders, and any orders from law enforcement are lawful. You want to have court on the side of the road? Okay. Well, then we'll do the execution on the side of the road too. She should have got out, complied, and went and fought it in court. You might want to take notes. Don't have court in the middle of a road in Minneapolis. Have court later in court. You comply with the orders. You say, yes, sir. And you go to court, you get a lawyer, you plead your case in the future. If you want to have court on the side of the road, we'll go through the whole trial and we'll do the execution. But it's up to you, ultimately, how you want to go about this. She had a choice. She could have went home. She could have stood on the side of the road with her girlfriend. But she wanted to get active. Any of you that want to get active, you see we're not fucking around anymore, right? Maduro found out. A lot of you guys sound like Maduro. Where's Maduro now? Yeah, we put chancla to ass when it came to Maduro. And right now he's salsa dancing in a Southern District of New York prison. So you can also go with him. See, he's in the metal box. He's not in the wooden one. So him and her, they're both in boxes, just a different material, if you will.
Of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time.
Hey, Wavioli, good to see you. Looking sexy. Good shit. Thanks for turning in, bro. Hey, keep making some more comments too. I love the interaction. It looks great. I think, the thing is this. You know what somebody called me yesterday? I thought it was an insult, and then I realized what I'm doing. They called me a YouTuber. No one's ever called me that before. That's how new I am at this, right? So someone referred to me as a YouTuber, and now I'm like, am I a YouTuber? But I used to watch people that do videos and stuff, and I would see they had a chat, and it used to move. Now I'm so new, usually would never be any comments, right? But people trolling me or whatever, it's making it move. So now I'm seeing comments, and I'm like, am I a YouTuber now? Because I have comments that are moving. I can't even read them all. Good or bad, all press is good press, right? So I'm glad you're here, Ravioli or Wavioli. I'm sorry, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'm glad you're here. You are very entertaining. And then you guys can have a trauma bonding session. All the leftists, you guys can do your circle jerk thing, or you can do the whole, putting the hot and spicy sauce on the rug and do the carpet eating thing. The same as Ellen yesterday, because there's an extra lesbian that needs warmth and comfort, and maybe she can join your collective, and maybe you guys can invite her to the thread now, and maybe she can find love, because it's winter time. Valentine's Day is coming up. Her +1, right, is apparently going to be somewhere else in a box. Okay, so she's not going to be able to make it to the plans. Okay, so and Valentine's Day is coming up. It's quicker than you think. You might want to get your presents ahead of time. Maybe the lesbians already bought gifts. She's gonna have to scratch the name off, and she's gonna need the new name. So maybe you guys can hook her up with somebody, because you guys are the gays on the left. So I appreciate it. Charlie died for the conversation. She died for attacking the cop. Absolutely. But it seems like Charlie died because he also turned down money from America's greatest enemy. And the people that were working with his organization, the people behind the scenes that we never heard of, because all we thought was Turning Point USA was just Charlie Kirk and Candace. Someone was going around the schools. Apparently, they make millions of dollars from donors from a country in the Middle East. And We don't necessarily know what else they do besides argue with people and tell people to go vote for people, and they were rewarded with hundreds of millions. So we don't really know. So we know the people behind the scene, when they found out Charlie was causing them to lose money, well, they have motive too. They have a motive. So did the country that he turned down their money got a motive. Everyone had a motive. Everyone had a motive to make sure they smacked Charlie and removed him from the table. So I'll be honest, I don't even think it was because of what he was saying. I think it was because of what he turned down. He turned down money. You know, if you're working with a criminal organization like a mob or something, and say you have a store, and say the mob, they give you money to, you know, to give you, you're paying them every month, or they're paying you for a service. If one day the mob shows up like, hey, Ricky, hey, Charlie, hey, how you doing? Hey, check this out. Hey, here goes the money. And then you're like, you know what? I quit. Hey, what do you mean you quit? Hey, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I don't want to work for the mob anymore. Has anybody ever heard about, have anybody know of any situation where you can stop working for the cartel or the mafia or the mob? Can you just quit? No, it's blood in, blood out. Once you take the money, you can't stop taking the money. As soon as Charlie Kirk stopped taking the money, he didn't even last 30 days. It wasn't, 60 days? He knew the consequence. You can't say no. So that's why you don't start something you can't finish. And there's only one way out of some of these situations. So I'll be honest, it wasn't necessarily only because of what Charlie Kirk was saying. I don't think that had anything to do with it. It was just all about the money with Kirk. I didn't even know they were making that kind of money. That's why I used to donate. I was like, man, this got to cost a lot of money. There's no way he's generating any money. He's not doing ad reads while he's at these campuses. So how is this even making any money? I don't understand the concept of donors. Yes, there are people that have donated to my Cash App. You see the ticker right there. And people have been donating to my Cash App the last few days. And I'm like, I appreciate the hell out of it. And I've been able to buy, like, it's helping me with equipment. It's helping me with just other miscellaneous expenses. And it helps me feel like, you know, people appreciate what I'm doing and they enjoy my content. So that's why I appreciate you guys supporting my media content, my media channel. I'm building a media group, and I have plans, and those plans will be executed. So you guys are also contributing to it. But in situations like with someone like Charlie, it's not what they're not being paid to say anything. It's what they're paid not to say. So apparently the country in the Middle East that was paying them, they were paying them to never talk bad about them. And it was costing $100 million or more a year to not speak out against genocide, because this group was very influential. And if they don't say anything bad about this country, well, then these people that follow Charlie would still support that country. Charlie was already saying that this country was dangerous. He was platforming people that were saying, hey, this country's evil. This country's doing genocide. This country is corrupt, and they're not our friend. They're not our ally. Show us how they're our ally. They made a really good point. And this is probably was the straw that broke the camel's back. They said that this country is closer to Afghanistan than Ramstein, Germany is. So why, when American soldiers were injured in Afghanistan, did we have to air evac emergency surgery people all the fucking way to Germany, when this other country that's supposed to be our greatest ally is like 45 minutes away from the battle? Why couldn't we just send our American troops there for treatment if they are our ally? That point literally changed everything for me. But it was also the end of Kirk. So that's what's going on with the whole Kirk situation. Donald Plump. That sounds like a little sexy name. I don't know. It sounds like your Grindr name. I like it.
Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes.
Well, I'm actually both. I'm the single boyfriend, but I'm also Rico Limbaugh. People say I have similar views to Rush, so I just name. It's a part of my brand, Rico Limbaugh. I'm probably going to change the whole single boyfriend. Initially, this channel was only supposed to be for relationship stuff, but there's never a slow day in Trump country. So when I talk about the news and media, it's hard for me to like take a step back because if you think about it, all the relationship stuff, it's very low IQ. So you got to kind of like dumb yourself down to get into the gender war stuff. And I feel like it pulls my focus away from there's so much other stuff going on that we need to put in perspective and that I should explain. From my perspective, of course, my perspective is going to be a right-leaning, male-centered perspective, obviously. So I do want to do more relationship stuff. I just don't have the luxury because there's too much shit going on in the country to save, right? So maybe after the country's nice and secure and things calm down, then I can go back to, let's watch this show about dating or, do more content about women hating men and men hating women and passports. And I would love to just focus on that. I just can't right now because literally we're at a war. We're in a civil war right now. Like 20 years from now, people are going to look back and say, oh yeah, the civil war started in 2023. They're going to say we're well into a civil conflict right now. It's just that everybody's too scared to identify who's on what side. And I'm not. I'm the only person that's talking about that. So stay tuned and, follow the channel, like and subscribe, and I will keep you up to date on who your enemies are so you can know who to look out for. Because you don't accidentally want to do anything like friendly fire. You want to know who's on the opposite side of you, and you don't want them to convince you or manipulate you into thinking that you guys are friends and they're about to stab you in the back. They are not your friends. They are not friends of anyone. They want your kids.
They created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message.
Hey, Donald Plump, if you go to my TikTok, the single boyfriend TikTok, you'll see I tell people I give bad relationship advice every day. So maybe you're right. I think saying Donald Plump is crazy, bro. That's a wild name. That's a freaky little grinder name, bro. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
For our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE.
How about Venezuela and Greenland? Those both now belong to the United States. Everything in our hemisphere belongs to us. So from Greenland to Argentina, this is our this is our backyard. This is our territory. And then the only leaders that are going against us are in Mexico and in Colombia. Those are the only two. We have to go see about them. And we will. But it's no rush. We'll get around to it. The main curse we had to deal with was Venezuela because they were flirting a little too hard with the Russians, with the Iranians, and with the Chinese. And you can't have googly eyes when you already got a man. So we had to remove Maduro. And now we're going to run that country professionally. Actually, we do need to, so it's three leaders. It's Cuba, it's Mexico, and it's Colombia. Cuba is actually one of the closest to us geographically. We need to go there next. Rubio is also Cuban, same as me. Hopefully he can convince Trump that we should go apply belt to ass in Cuba sooner than later. And then I'll be doing these videos from my family's property in Cienfuegos. And we'll go from there.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
You know what, Chad? What do you guys think we should do with this guy once we get rid of the Somalians? And now, since we're gonna just keep the Fed in Minneapolis long term, what do you guys think we should do with this mayor? What would he be good for? Or how fast do you think he's going to turncoat and start to kiss Trump's ass when he realized the walls were closing in on him and he wants to save himself? Because apparently this guy will do anything for money or for influence, or he'll do anything to save his own ass, even eat Somalian food. So what do you think? So what is, I don't know, what is VRA? I don't know what VRA is, but I'll give you my opinion. But yeah, what do you guys in the chat, what do you guys think we should do with this mayor? I have a couple ideas, but what do you guys think we should do with him? Because we're going to have to figure something out. Everything around him is falling apart. He has about another month or two max before his tune is going to change, but we can't forgive him. So for turning against Americans. So what do you guys think we should do with the mayor? Any ideas you guys have, you can put them in the chat. Right now, I'm simultaneously streaming on 8 platforms. There are over, let's see here, 1,000. There's over 1,400 consecutive between all the platforms on this live, and it's been on and off. What do you guys think we should do with this mayor? Any suggestions? Put them in the chat.
People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture,
let me call you
to
right
our
here. Text me real
economy,
quick.
are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave.
Well, that's not how this works. This is Trump country. Trump's our president. We are here at the leisure of the federal government, which is above your state and above your mayor. Mayor, do you have an army? Do you have a military? Do you have anybody willing to kill or die on your behalf? See, we do, right? There's plenty of us. Do you have that? If you have that, well, then you're going to have to force us out. If you want us to leave, make us leave. If you can't, then shut the fuck up. Or if you have an army, bring your army and we go army versus army. But words, again, are very, they're invaluable. That's another way of saying talk is cheap. Talking is not going to be enough. Mr. Mayor Jacob Frey.
It's on you to make sure that further damage.
Jacob Frey. Isn't that the name of the guy? Yeah, Fry. Isn't that the name of the guy from Futurama? Yeah, he was a dipshit idiot too. So this last name is curse. This is like the Munson of the political world. He's the Munson. That's what Fry is. He's basically a Munson.
Further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now. And justice is what we've all got to get.
Yeah, diversity is a weakness. It's not a strength. We're not doing the whole multicultural democracy. That's not this country. It will never be this country. We are a constitutional republic, and we will remain that way for the foreseeable future.
Next, a message to our community.
Small fry. That's a good one. Okay, so look, that's first thing we need to do with this mayor is start calling him small fry, and then we'll make plans on what we're going to do with him after. I don't know if jail is going to be good. I don't know what we're going to have to do something with him. We have to keep him in play, though. He might be useful.
Look, we all know that the agenda,
because he has that Newsome, a Trudeau type of image, that type of look. They have that face structure. It's that xenotype. That's why he reminds you of a Newsome or a Trudeau of Canada. They're all just trying to enrich themselves, and then they're going to bail. They don't believe anything they're saying, which is why none of Newsome's kids are gay or trans. But I thought you wanted to see more trans kid, Newsom. Why aren't your little boys wearing dresses and being chopped off? See, Newsom's not serious. He's just saying what he has to say. He's a politician. Same as this guy. They don't actually believe what they're saying. They're just saying what they have to say. What's most convenient. What's going to benefit them the most, that's how politics works. But that's how but it shouldn't work like that anymore. There's too many consequences from just performing lip service. It gets us into wars. It gets us into recessions. It gets us into out of control inflation when you got people. Look at the guy in Mondami in New York. He's in power, but how did he get there? Well, he promised to target white people, take their property, make buses free, make grocery stores free, where you can just walk in and just get free shit. Nothing's free in this world. Everything comes from something. And somebody's paying for it somewhere. Nothing is free. But Mondami promised a bunch of stuff just to get elected that he had no chance of ever doing But if you're a low IQ idiot, you are just going to be thinking, you're going to think with your emotions. You're not going to think logically and see what is actually real that he's saying. And now they're finding out that none of that stuff he said he could do is even remotely possible to do. So these other politicians, they're doing the same. There's a lady that was just elected mayor of fucking Seattle. And she's like, I'm going to stop grocery stores from leaving. Bitch, you can't make me keep my business here. And if I'm losing money, you're not. I thought we just had a no kings protest. No king, no queen. You can't tell me as a private business and I'm going to just stay open. And you can't tell me that I should bring and deliver food and you not pay me because of what? Like, food has to come from somewhere. Yeah, it does grow on trees. Someone has to pick it, package it, ship it, and we charge for it. None of that stuff's free. So it's happening in Seattle. It's happening in San Francisco, where they're promising we're going to give black people reparations. They are not. It just sounds good for the low IQ idiots who think they can get free shit in exchange for their freedom. Stop thinking that. Go to work. There is no free ride. Unless you want to take a ride in that box of pine like Ellen DeGeneres did yesterday. That ride is free. Well, no, the bullets cost money. Ambulance costs gas. The mortuary, yeah, that's not even fully free, but it's cheaper.
Of this Trump administration is to create chaos.
Cheers to you. Hey, listen, subscribe to the channel, like the video. You guys are again. I'll read the Snapchat, the Cash Apps. I'll read them in the next video because I don't want to stop the video and look at people sending. I appreciate it. The super chats should be activated on the Right Wing Rico page. If you guys want to have any serious questions or you want to donate, $1 is fine. I don't care. I mean, I'm just appreciate you guys being here and listening and sharing this video because I have no idea that how YouTube is pushing this out to so many new people, but it is. And I appreciate YouTube for doing so. So thank you guys. If you're a new viewer, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I have way more content that I do, talk about different things, but I'm more so just having conversations with just you and me. Like we're just sitting in a bar and we're just talking politics, we're talking shop, but we're on the same page because we have kids, we have families, and we want America to at least resemble the America that we grew up in. So that's why we're here. That's why we're having these conversations.
Let us respond right now with our best.
You don't get a tariff check, Plump. You're not an American.
Versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion.
Kristi Noem doesn't need to tell a story. The video told it all. I don't give a fuck what she says. I saw the video. See, that's the thing. I don't need anyone to translate anything for me. I will look at everything from now on. I will decide for myself. I used to listen to Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon, two men that like children and other men. I would listen to them tell me what to think about my own president. I would listen to them tell me what to think about Trump. And they lied to me for years. Once I started listening to Trump myself and watching his videos and going to rallies, I realized these people played me for a long time. So because of that, I no longer let people spoon feed me information because, well, who's holding the spoon? Now I will literally go myself and I will do my own. I will come up with my own opinion. I don't need Kristi Noem. I don't need anybody else to tell me what to think. I will watch it for myself. I'll react to it and I'll come up with my own separate opinion. I suggest you start to do the same.
We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery.
I don't need the government to give me a Doge check. I need the government to get the fuck out of my way so I can work. I do business. I need less regulations, less bureaucracy, less red tape. I don't need to beg the government. That's you. I don't need the check from the government. I need the government to get out of my way.
Love and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America.
Well, yeah, I am MAGA. I believe in America. So obviously my conversation is going to be uniform. It's not going to shift. It's going to be the same. I'm pragmatic. I'm a pretty consistent person. And I don't really have emotions. I just think about stuff. So I don't feel anything. So obviously my conversation is going to be the same across the board. You come here tomorrow, it's not going to shift. It's pretty much going to be the same. Again, my conversation is uniform. And that's online and offline. I'm the same person in both arenas.
We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families.
We are deporting entire families because we're keeping them together. We're not ripping them apart. We're keeping them together now. You're thinking of the Biden administration. No, we're keeping families whole. Everybody goes. Everybody goes.
And communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate.
You're going to be waiting for another 300 years before you finally realize that you're better off getting a job than waiting on a reparations check. You're not going to be, you weren't alive. You weren't a slave. Neither were your parents or grandparents. So you're not going to be paid for stories by a man named Alex Haley. It's crazy. Black people only think they're owed reparations because of the miniseries Roots. If it wasn't for the miniseries Roots, there would not be a conversation about reparations. But black people took that movie extremely literally, like the way they take Black Panther literally, and they think Wakanda's a real place, and they were doing this, and they speak of vibranium, like, and there is no such thing. There was, and then even the slave stories are not true. Yeah, you want to believe your great grandpappy was getting bug broke. It's because you have homoerotic fantasies about white men. That's why you conflate the two, but it doesn't make it real. Even the transatlantic slave trade, none of the stories make any sense. Oh yeah, we had hundreds of people on these boats from Africa that took 3 months. Okay, where'd you store the water? Matter of fact, where'd you guys store? How did everybody not die because of all the feces and all the, they're chained up for 3 months and they can't move. Get the fuck out of here. All that shit is all lies. Just make believe. And you want to believe you're a victim so bad that it blinds you and it makes you a mental midget, which is why it's hard for you to function in society. You have a lot of other issues. And the amount of delusion that it takes to believe in a lot of this, it's the only term is mental illness. It's mass formation, psychosis. It's over an entire group, and it's sad, and it puts them at a constant state of anxiety and victimhood. And, you see it, but unfortunately it's never going to reflect into reparations because you were never personally aggrieved. And you cannot say, oh, well, somebody I know. That's like me saying, hey, in the year 1905, this white man's ancestor was driving a horse and buggy and it rode over the foot of my ancestor. My ancestor got broken toes. I need $50,000 to repair those toes that were broken. And they're like, what the fuck? Show me the proof. Show me proof that you're even related to this person or that this incident ever happened. I don't have any proof. I don't need proof. I have a movie called Roots where I know it's true and I know it's real. Give me money. Yeah, all right. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you that money. You just keep voting, motherfucker. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to promise you some money. Motherfucker. I ain't giving you shit. But I'm going to tell you what you want me to hear. And then once I'm in power, I'm going to tell you to fuck off until I need you to come back in 4 years. And then I'm going to talk about, I'm going to make a commission to talk about giving you money for the horse and carriage incident from 100 years ago. I'm going to make a commission. We're going to study it. We're going to study it, but every 4 years, they're going to keep coming up with ways to study it. But nobody's giving you jack shit for nothing. You're an idiot for even thinking and waiting on that. And that's probably why you're fucked because, well, why do you need to get a job? I got a check coming in. You don't have a check coming. Go to work. Martin Luther King lied to you. The state is not going to solve all your problems. MLK played the fuck out of all the black people in America. So that's why nobody really likes him. You can't like him. What's there to like? The reason you see Harlem and all these used to be black areas that are all destroyed and look like shit, that's all because of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King destroyed all these beautiful black areas with his bullshit. So yeah, don't trust him and don't trust anybody telling you they're going to give you reparations. You don't have nothing coming. But what you can get is a box. So you could go to Minneapolis right now and go fight Trump and you can get one of them boxes. We're giving those out for free all day today.
With love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitution.
I absolutely will give you Black history, and I don't know what the fuck VRA is. Yes, you're correct.
Constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait.
Nothing is owed to you. The only thing that was owed to you was citizenship. You got that and you squandered it, which is why we're going to remove birthright citizenship so you can be expatriated back to your home continent. You did nothing with your citizenship, nothing but beg, nothing but complain, nothing but sow discontent amongst other groups in this country where you're pretending and telling everybody the country's evil and racist, then why the fuck are you still here? See, that's what I mean by sowing discontent. You ever had somebody at your job that's in the break room always trying to tell you how they hate working here and you should hate it too, and this is a bad company? But yeah, motherfucker, why are you still working here? Why don't you quit and go work somewhere else? That's what we mean by sowing discontent. The Black community does that systematically around the country. That's why you have other groups of people that have now copied the Black hustle of begging, pretending that they're victims to try to get what they want. It's spreading. The sowing of discontent. People are looking at that strategy and saying, well, it's not really helping them, but it's not hurting them. They get some free stuff every now and again. We're rejecting all of that. That's where we are right now.
That these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos. And
technically, I don't see any evidence that you guys ever fought racism. What I did see is you guys fought for the right to be under white people even more. White people wanted you to not be in their restaurants. They didn't want you around them because they said you were toxic. History's shown us that they were correct. You guys wanted to drink from their water fountains, even though the water in the pipes were the same at both water fountains. You insisted on being under them. The rest of us in this country, we come here, we build communities. We have our own people. You've never seen us have issues with white people because we don't need to be under them. We don't have a strong enough inferiority complex to desire to be such. You do. Martin Luther King installed it in you, and now you want money, which it doesn't add up, and we're not giving it to you. So you didn't really fight racism. You fought to be around the people you thought were racist. You didn't fight to be away from them. You fought to be under them. You see the difference? You wanted to share in their space. You wanted to be closer to the people that you called racist. Like it's illogical. It doesn't make any sense, your point. So again, I don't see any history of you guys fighting racism. Matter of fact, you guys didn't even fight for freedom. Literally, white men showed up on Juneteenth and was like, hey, you guys know slavery's over. They literally fought, died, and they gave you freedom. You didn't earn shit. You didn't fight anything. You didn't fight for freedom. Django, that's one guy. And, that's it. And that's fake. None of you fought for freedom. You didn't earn anything. It was gifted to you. So that's why Juneteenth should be a national, let's thank a white man day. You guys should literally, Juneteenth every year, it should be just blacks walking around finding random white men and just fucking hugging them and telling them thank you for your service. If we're going to be technical about it.
More despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction. Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors. It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place. That's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now. If you're angry, I get it. I am too. If you're feeling that kind of despair, it's understandable. Let's show them who we can be. Let's show up with peace. To march, to protest, to hug one another, to love all the way with peace. Do not give them what they want.
Well, I'm in my homeland now. I haven't been Cuban for years. I'm an American. I'm an American only. No Afro, no any other weird prefix or is required. American will suffice. America is enough. That's perfect for me. So I'm in America first, but I'm American only also. So.
Finally, we've got a lot of work that needs to happen right now to make sure that first, of course, the scene was secured as much as possible, that we were able to get the victim, now deceased, to the hospital. We've got a lot.
My rights are not in jeopardy. What rights am I? Donald Plump, we're watching you right now, right? We're giving you the stage. Tell me what rights am I working against? Like, what rights are on the table that I could lose? Tell me what those rights are. I keep hearing you leftists and the pedos telling me about rights. Talk to me. What rights are we on the verge of losing? Why can you not tell us? The VRA dipshit. What the fuck is okay? Look, let's go ahead and let me ask Arthur. Hey Arthur, quick question. Apparently there's something going on in the Supreme Court, of something called the VRA. Do you know what that is? And can you explain it?
Certainly. The VRA typically refers to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It's a landmark piece of federal legislation in the United States that was enacted to prohibit racial discrimination in voting. Over the years, the VRA has been central to numerous Supreme Court cases that have shaped how voting rights are protected and enforced. If there's a current case involving the VRA at the Supreme Court, it likely deals with issues such as redistricting, voter ID laws, or other aspects of election regulation. Let me know if you need more specifics or a deeper dive into a particular case.
Wait a minute. You mean like the redistricting that was going on in Texas? Don't you remember I did a video about that and why that fucking pretty ass dumbass named Jasmine Crockett, how she lost, why she's losing her seat and she's going to run for the Senate, which she's going to lose also? Didn't I do a video about that? Don't you remember we had that conversation?
Absolutely. I recall that conversation. You did indeed create a video focusing on the redistricting situation in Texas and Jasmine Crockett's changing political landscape. In that video, you highlighted how the new district maps were affecting her seat and how she was shifting gears toward a Senate run, which you predicted would also be a tough battle for her. So yes, this current Supreme Court discussion about the Voting Rights Act definitely ties back to those themes of redistricting and the broader electoral implications you covered before. Let me know if you need any more detailed insights.
Well, okay, if you can go back to that video, the video that I made about Crockett, didn't we learn that in Texas, they used to district people based on race, which is contradictory to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. You cannot exclude or include anyone based on superficial things like race, gender. The new districting lines for the voters in these districts are going to be based off of politics and based off of their political affiliations. It's not going to be based off of race. So that's why the redistricting made sense and had to be done away with, and they had to rewrite these maps because it didn't make any sense before, because it would be based off of racial demographics, which would be illegal to do. So what is the VRA that these people are currently talking about? What's the issue now?
Certainly. I recall the context from your earlier video about Jasmine Crockett and the redistricting issues in Texas. You're correct that part of the controversy was that previous redistricting practices had been challenged for relying on racial demographics, which conflicted with the principles of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The newer approach aimed to redraw lines based more on political affiliation rather than race, aiming to avoid racial gerrymandering accusations. Now, to address what's currently happening with the VRA at the Supreme Court, the modern cases often revolve around whether certain states or jurisdictions have enacted voting rules or redistricting plans that dilute minority voting power or otherwise discriminate. In essence, the issue in current VRA discussions is whether certain new voting laws or redistricting efforts still effectively disenfranchise voters based on race, even if they're framed in terms of political criteria. So the Supreme Court is essentially weighing whether these newer redistricting methods still violate the spirit of the Voting Rights Act by disproportionately impacting minority voters. It's a nuanced continuation of the same broader debate you covered before, whether political redistricting is just a proxy for racial gerrymandering. Let me know if you need more specifics or any other details.
You know, it's crazy that the people are accusing the courts or these states of trying to dilute the minority vote. But the fact that you're a minority means you're already diluted to begin with. And the only way you're not going to be diluted is if they do gerrymandering and they're able to redistrict around you based on race. Then it seems like you have a stronger block. But if without you breaking the law and gerrymandering based on race, it'd be just based on political affiliation. If you're already a minority, you're already in the low anyway. So you're diluted no matter what, unless you literally create districts based off of race. And then it seems like you're not as diluted. You guys are more concentrated. That's illegal. It's a false redistricting, and it's a false sense of being concentrated based off of, well, I'm just going to group all these people together based on their race and make a map around that. That's bullshit. It can't do that, because if you're actually trying to make a rap based on race, well, then now you're using race as an outlier. And that means you're focusing on race, which is illegal. You can't do that. That contradicts the 1964 Civil Rights Act. If you want to abolish the 64 Civil Rights Act, then just say that. And then we can have that conversation. But that has to be done away with. Your vote's already diluted because you're not the majority in this country. Now, if you want to go to Africa, you want to go to Nigeria, you want to go to Ghana, then your vote is concentrated because you guys all look the same. But in the United States, you're already admittedly a minority. So your vote is diluted anyway. Unless you concentrate everything based off of race, and you guys all huddle together. But we can't draw districts based on that, because that would be illegal according to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So just to keep this conversation being circular, I don't, what is the solution? I think we're going to have to just go with basically basing the redistricting off of political affiliation. We can't base it off of race anymore. And it seems like they're crying about that. They want it to be based off of race, but then they also want the Civil Rights Act of 64 to protect them. And you can't have it both ways, or can you, Arthur? What do you think?
From a legal and policy standpoint, you're essentially touching on a core tension that's been debated for years. The central dilemma is that the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was designed to prevent racial discrimination in voting. Historically, that meant preventing states or localities from drawing district lines that diluted the voting power of racial minorities. In other words, the VRA aimed to ensure that minority communities weren't split up or cracked in ways that weaken their electoral influence, or packed into a single district to limit their overall impacts. On the flip side, as you pointed out, strictly drawing districts based explicitly on race can be seen as a violation of the Civil Rights Act and other equal protection principles. That's why the Supreme Court and lower courts have tried to strike a balance. You can consider race as one factor to ensure minority representation, but you can't use it as the sole or predominant basis for redistricting. Instead, courts have often ruled the district should be drawn based primarily on traditional redistricting criteria, things like geographic contiguity, political boundaries, and communities of interest, while still complying with the VRA's requirements not to dilute minority voting strength. In practice, that means the debate isn't just about race or politics in isolation. It's about how to comply with both the VRA's intent to protect minority voters and the constitutional prohibition against over-issue gerrymandering. When states try to shift entirely to political criteria, it can still have racial impacts because political affiliation often correlates with racial demographics. That's why these cases are so complex, and why some groups feel their voting power is inherently diluted unless there's some form of protection. In short, it's a balancing act. You can't do racial gerrymandering to concentrate minority votes artificially, but you also can't ignore the VRA's mandate not to weaken minority voting strength. And that's the heart of the current Supreme Court discussions. It's not about having it both ways. It's about how to meet both legal standards simultaneously.
Okay, that makes sense. So basically what you're saying is that if Black people want to concentrate their vote and have a stronger voter block, then they have to stop making money and moving away from the hood. You're going to have to sell your house in a nice white neighborhood and move back to the ghetto. And then that way you guys can strengthen and condense your voting power into your own district. But you're not going to be able to say, well, I don't want to live around Black people, but I want you to draw new redistricting lines that go through my white area and carve out pieces of that community so that I can be included with the Black community. You're going to have to go move back to the Black areas. You can't move away from Black people because they're dangerous and then want to be voted along with them. That doesn't make any sense. If you want the Black vote to be concentrated and you to have your own district, you're going to have to move there. We're not going to be creating all these weird maps where we're cutting out little pieces where there's a couple of Black houses over here so you can add that Black vote to your other Black vote so they won't be diluted. That's bullshit. You're going to have to vote with the people in your area. And if your people in your area, the majority are voting along a certain line, you're going to be included in that whether you want to or not. If you don't like it, go back to where you used to live, where there's a higher concentration of Blacks for you to vote with, and that way your vote won't be diluted. I see that as the only solution. Quick question, Arthur. Is there a black voter tax that blacks have to pay that nobody else in the country who votes has to pay?
In essence, what you're describing touches on a social and demographic reality rather than a legal mandate. There isn't any sort of black voter tax that black Americans have to pay that others do not. The concept you're bringing up is more about the practical realities of where people live and how that affects voting power. To put it simply, there is no legal or financial penalty that black voters face in the voting process that others do not. However, what you're pointing out is that if people move out of areas where their demographic is concentrated, they may naturally lose some of the collective voting influence that comes with being part of a majority in particular districts. That's a social and demographic choice rather than a formal tax or legal barrier. In terms of redistricting and voting rights, the law aims to ensure that race is not used as the primary factor in a way that would violate the Civil Rights Act. If people choose to live in more diverse or differently mixed areas, then naturally the political map reflects that. The challenge is to create districts that comply with the law and respect communities of interest without crossing the line into racial gerrymandering. Ensure there's no special tax or fee that applies to one group of voters over another. It's more about the demographic realities and where people choose to reside. And as you said, the solution in a legal sense is to create districts based on lawful criteria rather than racial categorization.
Thank you, Arthur, for confirming with me that this guy Plump is a lying piece of shit. And see, I just humor the conversation because he's in the chat. He's been here for a while. So I at least wanted to ask, but I knew he was lying. I knew there was no such thing. I'm just asking you just so I can double check and confirm, because what if I'm wrong? What if I'm completely off and there is a black tax for voters? But he's a liar. And that's why we don't take him or his people seriously. Okay, Arthur, that'll be all for now.
A lot of work to do in the coming days. I want to thank our city enterprise for the work that they have done, but more importantly, what they're about to do, because this is going to be heavy and our city has been through a lot. We also know that...
You know what's crazy? The lesbian don't look like this no more. You want to know what she looks like? This is what she looks like now. She's like completely cut her hair off. She doesn't look like that picture anymore. This is what she looks like now. She doesn't look like this anymore. This is before the Democrats took her over and brainwashed her. This is after. She looks like Meth Martha now. She no longer looks like Ellen DeGeneres. No, she actually does like Ellen. I'll be honest. She cut her hair off. She went full liberal, got a girlfriend, put Tapatio sauce on a rug to make the carpet easier to eat. And now this is what she looks like. Why does the media keep lying to us, showing us this picture of this pretty white woman with flowing hair and there's water in the background, when the reality is she's this guy that's kind of a girl that wanted to kill police. And look, on the side of the road, here the girlfriend got out again. The girlfriend got out of the car. The girlfriend knew what time it was and was like, yeah, I'm cool. Let me out. Let me out, though, boy. Let me out, though. Let him out. He's out the car. You know, I'll be honest, this conversation was very good today. It was very insightful, very enlightening. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the donations. I'll be back on with another topic in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go make some tacos in celebration of Maduro being captured. So I'm going to go get some hot sauce and make some tacos, dance a little bit, and then I'll be back on live in about, I'll say 30 minutes or so. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, America first, America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.